The audio I recorded in the workshop was actually so poor that I couldn't use it, but you can see I'm just showing off some new parts I've got. So this is the sump, which hopefully will fit 200 series without any modifications. There's also some bolts, nuts with it, and oil pickup tube. And these are the exhaust manifolds, which hopefully will leave enough room for the engine mounts and steering gear. So the pickup tube doesn't really fit in here with this bit of tin that's there. So what I ended up doing is drilling 2 holes, and that enabled me to shape it enough so it would fit in there roughly. So the pickup tube is in place. I tried, it's not hitting the crankshaft. So I'll put the oil pan in. I didn't tighten these yet, they're all loose because there's no pins that hold it straight, so you can just move it. So I want to put the oil pan in place before doing up these, so it's all nice and flush with everything. And I believe I have to add some silicone here in these corners. So I jacked the rear end of the transmission up, and I'd say it's almost in. You can see there's just a tiny bit holding, so whether I can push it in, lift it up a bit more, and then just push it in, we'll see. So it is in, but I think the transmission is probably hitting the tunnel. So I just dropped it on the subframe. I think it's sitting on the subframe. There's some problems here. Well, not problems, but so you can see this deep side of the tunnel ends there, and my transmission ends here. So I think I can probably cut this off. I don't think that's a problem, but I might have to make some changes in the tunnel as well. There's a lot more room in the front. I thought the front is going to be the problem, but not really. There's plenty of room there, but there's a, I think this is reverse lockup solenoid or something, so you wouldn't accidentally put it in the reverse. And I think I'm gonna have to remove this. There's no way it's gonna fit in there. And in the front there is a bracket here. I think it just holds the clutch slave cylinder line, so I can probably just cut that off. I don't think I have to do anything in here really. Yeah, it's more just at the back. I removed the shifter assembly and the reverse solenoid, and I'll try to lift it up. I think it won't go still. It's probably a bit too close. And now I think the bracket is what's hitting, and I have to pull it off to remove that one. With this. but it's so it's as high as it can go. I can probably get rid of this rear flange and just find something more suitable. I have kind of aligned the engine now. This is I pulled the yoke off because I'm gonna have to put another flange or make have a drive shaft made to suit. So the transmission this back end might still come down a little bit, but I'm not too sure. I think it's roughly in the middle. There is a bit of a gap here, so it's about maybe 20 mil and less between here, but I'm not too worried about it because I can just space this down a little bit and it'll be fine. So I wasn't gonna do the engine mounts now. I was gonna do some other things because I didn't have anything for the engine mounts. But when I had a look around, I actually found some, well, these are Land Cruiser, I think 60 series maybe, leaf spring shackle bushes. They're poly bushes and they are about 35 mil diameter. And then I found some pipe which where these will actually fit in to pretty tight. And then I found some, these actually are spacers. So I found these which will go in here, and then 12 mil bolt will go through. And I already have made the flanges, so all I'm gonna have to do is cut out the second set of these and then work out what I need exactly. Here are all the bits I just cut out. I made these motor ones a little bit longer because I think it has to come, it's not going to be in the center, it'll be on one side. So that's where it's going to be sitting. And I made two of them a little bit offset, so it would sit a little bit further down and just give me a little bit more room around the steering shaft. I'm not sure. I didn't actually measure anything there. I just made them and I just hope they fit. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but this CNC plasma cutter is one of the, well, it's not one of the best. It is the best thing I've ever built. So it's really handy doing all these kind of things, and it makes the building a lot easier. This is how it's gonna be looking roughly. So I'm gonna have to, I think I'll just cut these a little bit shorter, otherwise I can't fit two in there, and I really want to use these because, well, I don't have anything longer. That's the reason. So I'll be using these, and so this is the offset one, and then the other one is gonna be like this. I don't even know if it's gonna work. I have to bolt them on and then see. I hope it will. I have tacked the first engine mount now. Looks pretty good. Well, that's what I think. So that's how it looks from here. Now I have tacked both sides. So this is how the left side looks, and this is the right side. Now I'll see if I can pull them off in one piece and weld them. So here's the result. I could take them off without having to pull them apart from here. So I'll add a couple more tack welds before I weld them up. I have completed the engine mounts. So it's all standing on the fresh mounts. The gearbox is still hanging on this rope. So I have removed the steering shaft already. I'm gonna try the exhaust manifold on in a bit. But I'm not too sure how I'm gonna approach this transmission mount here. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit, whether I'm gonna cut the shape out so it would follow as close to the body as possible to give me room for the exhaust. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably try to have a room there on the both sides. Now the exhaust manifolds have been bolted on. There is plenty of room around the engine mount and also around the manifold. On the left side there is no problem. On the right side the only problem is that the steering shaft is not gonna clear the exhaust manifold here, so I'm gonna have to think about that.